14A District Court for County of Washington, Unpaid, Michigan, back in session.
You may be seated. 103 South Huron versus Joshua Bertram. That matters dismissed on plaintiff's motion without prejudice.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You do the same, Mr. Printer. BO Properties versus Melissa Daly. Now, it's just, this isn't one of those. So.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jim McCarroll on behalf of Beal Properties.
Judge Dominic Camden appearing on behalf of Melissa Daly.
All right. Are you appearing on behalf of Hardman?
Those are children, Judge.
Those are children. Gotcha. All right. Where are we on this?
You already come. Judge, there was a consent order that was issued maybe a month and a half ago. Client filed paperwork not through my office initially, indicating that she was having some medical issues. I appeared
regarding the move out.
Yeah, plaintiff's counsel understandably was not there because I don't think my client served them, so I'm not taking any issue with that at all. Subsequent to that, the plaintiff's counsel filed the actual writ to evict my client, and the court set it for hearing today. I can tell the court that I got notification from my client of today's hearing. I didn't come directly from the courthouse, which, okay. But my client did inform me that she's having a heart procedure this morning that started at about, she had to be at the hospital at 7 a.m. And I did not, she basically had told me she had been waiting for the appointment and there was an appointment that opened, and I instructed my client that she needed to keep her appointment because, with all due respect to this court, her health took precedence, and I'll fill the gap in for but her procedure was today.
Well, Your Honor, insofar as the appearance here, I certainly have no truck with that, but there was an order that said that the defendants were going to vacate by April 1st. They did not. That order was entered in February. They had a month and a half to effectuate what they were supposed to do, and they continue to occupy the property. My client understandably wants possession of the property, and that's why we're here today.
Do we have any verification that this procedure is taking place?
I have an email, Judge,
from her, but nothing.
I did not ask for any verification.
No rent is being paid, right?
Correct. She was a Section 8.
Section 8 been terminated?
It has been terminated, Your Honor. I'm just told by my client that the debt is up to $50,000 at this point.
I mean, we're going to get into, maybe we need to get into the, but there's some question about whether it was terminated correctly, or was necessarily caused it to basically be lapsed, which was the basis for the counter complaint that was filed in this case. Essentially, the reason why the parties agreed to dismiss it without prejudice.
So you're indicating you want to raise the initial issues that were subject to the dismissal.
If we could approach.
Yeah. In this case, it was the conference case. This is regarding the issuance of the writ in this matter. Mr. Hamden was gracious enough to share with myself and counsel the email that was sent. The nature, I don't know the entire nature of the procedure that the defendant is undergoing. However, one thing that is stated in there that shed some light for the court is that she indicates to be available next week. I'm not going to adjourn it to next week because I don't know that there's really an issue ultimately that this court is going to come to. So I'm going to issue the writ, but delay its execution and indicate that it can be executed no earlier than the 29th. All right. So that way she's got to the end of the month and she's done. Counsel posed a good question that is to trying to make sure that it's final. I wish a lot of things in my life were final. If somebody comes in and says something, I think I'm obligated to listen, but the intent of the court in doing this is that this is it. It's done. one or two ways it's going to happen at the end of this month.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. When we locate it, I have to just put on there.
Not prior to the 20th.
Yeah, I have to be actually correct. Real Properties versus Lieutenant Patrick.
Okay, I'll do my part on behalf of Beal Properties.
The first two are, got it. Your name?
Summer brother.
Simple. Your name, sir?
Matata Patrick.
All right. Well, where are we on this case?
Your Honor, the rent to retain is $2,980.32 with costs of $176.32 for a total of $3,162.64. We're asking for a writ date of May 18th.
All right. Anybody? Yes. Your position with this is you can restate it for the record. Your position with this case? Yes. Okay. So what were you going to tell me?
So there's correspondence with the actual homeowner that there's an agreement where we would continue to pay the rent that we've been paying. In addition to the utility bills that I do a utility allowance for, which were done yesterday, as a matter of fact. And then we would continue to seek alternate funding for the back rent, as well as find Mr. Matata a new unit to go to. And then my agency could then, if we couldn't seek an alternate community resource to pay for his back rent or pay a portion of that, we could then pay that entire back rent at that point once he leaves the unit. And that's in correspondence. There's an entire email thread with that the previous attorney should have access to. The one that was here a week ago.
All right. So,
This Hall, I believe the name was.
yeah. So what's really happening is the rent's going to be paid going forward.
It has been for the last 2 months. We've paid 2 payments already of $17.60, plus have done 2 utility allowances for Mr. Matata as well.
So what months would those be?
It was March, and it was April, and then I just delivered one. Yes, Wednesday, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. It was a little late because our printing machine was down. I delivered it to the new address on Michigan Avenue in the Dropbox.
So that payment must not have been taken off of this account. And the only reason I'm saying that is because the number claimed owed went up 1 month. But if what you're indicating happened, then it's going to go back to that one figure where I have a static amount of back rent. Okay.
Correct.
All right. No, that's okay. So what are we going to do then on the case? I get that rent's being paid going forward, but I don't know.
And then homeowner, I'm not sure. I assumed there was correspondence with them. He had agreed. He said put it in letterhead, which I attached to the email as he suggested with the terms. So I'm not exactly sure.
Go ahead, Ken.
Your Honor, my client has indicated that what he is willing to accept as a conditional dismissal with the terms that have been laid out before the court.
Okay, I guess I don't have a problem with it, but I don't want to end up as the one thing that I didn't hear. Is there a date that he's going to move, or has that been resolved?
For alternate housing right now.
Okay, that's going to be right. No, I get it. I guess that's going to be my problem with the conditional dismissal because there isn't an end.
Well, I would raise the question then, is there a reasonable expectation he'd be out by the end of June? Because we put the end of June date in there. If not, then we're back to the question you posed, Your Honor.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's realistic I can't force somebody to agree to that date. It sounds to me like the parties are working together so that everything stays static. The one thing that's missing is that end date. How many people are in his family? Do you know? Is it just him?
So
That's going to be, okay. Now I understand. That's going to be the problem because you got to find a unit for 7.
and the family has no income, so that's been the issue, accumulating late fees, and there have been some fees that have been attached that our grant could not cover. So I've had to find, for the last several years, we've been working with him, community resources to cover these fees. And at this point, we've just ran out of funding for those resources. He's accessed the ESG funding through SOS several weeks ago, which was the max at that point. And so we've met that for the year already.
So he's already gone through SOS, got the 3.
Correct. My agency, though, I was confirmed with my supervisor on Thursday. We're getting some additional funding for housing in June. What that looks like, I'm not entirely sure. We could put some of that funding towards that balance at that
Is this
point.
coming from the county?
No, sir, I'm not sure what the funding is. If it's
Okay,
grant or.
gotcha. Okay, no, the only reason I'm asking is because everything is now messed up with funding
Yeah.
in a big way. So let me ask this. If the back balance got paid, are they going to be able to stay or no?
Our client indicates yes, Judge.
Okay.
My grant, unfortunately, we can't pay that back rent until he's out of the unit.
Because nobody wants to make my life easy. Okay.
Client indicates, Judge, if the court is comfortable with putting either a July or an August date to give them more time, we could put that in the conditional dismissal if the court is comfortable with it.
I'd be comfortable with this because we could do that so that there's a conditional dismissal of August, but that there would be no writ without a hearing. I don't, and here's the reason I'm saying that. The issue with what's now happened with funding in this county is my head is still about to explode from a Wednesday morning meeting that I had regarding that. Because the amount of funding is lessening as we go into the summer to save people's housing. So normally under the circumstance, we'd be able, quite frankly, if we were in the winter, which is another weird thing, we'd likely be able to find funding to pay this back balance and then move forward. I can tell you right now, it's not going to happen. In particular, if he's already tapped into the resources, it's not going to happen. So I don't have a problem, and I'd appreciate if there was an August date, but that there be a hearing prior to the issuance of that. But as a part of that conditional dismissal, his current monthly rent has to be paid forward so that this amount doesn't get higher.
So that's what we've agreed to.
Okay. Then I don't have a problem if we do an August date, but there'd have to be a hearing. And again, it's just because we're in so much flux. He's got to find a place for 7 people. But I'd be comfortable doing that. Would that work for you, sir? All right. So
So we'd have an end date of end of August, and there would by necessity be a hearing prior to the issuance of the writ.
correct.
Okay. I'll get that drafted and filed.
All right. So I'll mark this conditionally dismissed and then submit the paperwork to me. Sir, I do have to advise you that you're appearing here, you're not represented by counsel. Once you sign on to the conditional order dismissal, and I think it's clear what has to happen. They're going to be paying your rent. Got that? Going forward, so there's no balance. And then they're going to be looking for housing for you, but nothing would happen until August. You understand that? All right. And then should you not have secured housing by August, there would be a hearing before this court before an issuance of the writ. You understand that? Those are the basic terms.
Thank you.
All right. And so since you're unrepresented by counsel, once you sign off on that, you have 3 business days from the date of my signature to move this court to set that aside. Believe that there's some confusion on your part, some misrepresentation, something you didn't understand, or some right you didn't assert. Okay, that doesn't mean I would grant it, but you'd have that time frame. Got it? Okay. Thank you, folks.